Hey guys, it's Aussie here, and welcome to episode 53 of the BFC Dynamo series. We're currently at the end of season 9. Unfortunately, despite recent good results, we find ourselves in 8th place. We'll go into the league table properly here, and then we'll have another look at it once we finish both these games. But we're currently 8th place. It's a much better position than where we found ourselves earlier in the season when we were sort of languishing around between maybe 12th and 14th. We're sort of in that position. Obviously, the draws, they were absolutely killing us this season with that new tactic, the 4-3-3. I figured it might have been it was a better defensive tactic, but at the cost of goals. We couldn't score enough goals to beat our opposition. And obviously, that's a big problem. When you can't score more than your opposition, you're never going to win. So we changed the tactic. As you can see here, we've got 16 draws this season. 16. I mean, you look further up the table. You got Kaiserslautern, who've got 15 draws. That's a lot as well. Albeit they've only got 3 losses for the whole season. So they're kind of a team that probably deserves to be promoted. And obviously up top, you got St. Pauli in first place. Cologne, they've actually overtaken Bochum on goal difference. As you can see, all 3 of those clubs, Kaiserslautern, Cologne, and Bochum, they're all on 57 points. So it's a pretty cool run-in for the last 2 games. It reminds me of us, 2 seasons ago, I think, when we missed out on the promotion playoff. But yeah, we've been doing well. We're into 8th. We're above my sort of expectation at the moment, which I'm happy with. We'll go over the recent fixtures here, and I'll move the face cam back up the top there. Of course, last episode was the 2 really tough games against Cologne and Bochum. We followed that up with a 1-1 draw against Kaiserslautern, who I believe were second at the time of this game. As you can see, Jabali opened the scoring for us, our only shot on target as well, so I was very happy with that. They got a goal back pretty late on, 76th minute. And then, De Jong off the bench, offside goal, preventing us from getting all 3 points there. I just want to give a shout out, obviously, to Clayton. You know, he played a lot this season prior to Melges coming in. Shout out to him, filling in with Melges' injury. Naranjo and Thibaut also playing really well in that game. We followed that up with a 3-2 victory in the derby against Magdeburg. This one should have been a bit more convincing. Havicic got us the opening goal. We had nothing until they got an equaliser in the 70th minute. Mera then got us the second goal and brought us 2-1 up. That was a minute later in the 71st. Mera then got his second goal. I believe he was off the bench as well, Mera. So a very big performance there. 80th minute getting us our third goal. And then Magdeburg got a goal back in the 94th minute. Only had 3 shots on target, so as you can see, Clayton not playing too well. But again, shout out to Romero and Prevel, both of our wingbacks putting in good performances, as well, of course, as Pavicic and man of the match, Mira. So yeah, happy with that. Unfortunately, we lost the next game 3-1, just a bit of a lackadaisical defensive display, I would say. As you can see here, Gel opened the scoring for us once again, going ahead. And then in the second half, they scored 3 goals and basically just dismantled us in that second half. Clayton again with a pretty disappointing performance, 6.3. Romero was subbed as well for Egan Riley when he was on a 6.2. So yeah, Halvervig also had a goal disallowed once again in the 96th minute, and I believe it was for offside as well. And the most recent game played was a 3-0 victory over first placed St. Pauli, a very impressive result. Gel opening the scoring once again. We've seemed to be opening the scoring quite a lot recently, but that was in the 3rd minute. Senhaji getting us a goal there in the 35th minute, and then Gel slotting away a penalty in the 64th minute. And as you can see, this was Melges' first game back from his broken wrist, I think it was. Wasn't too serious of an injury, but very good to see him back. And a 7.6 rating for him in this game, as well as a clean sheet, is very impressive. And that's pretty much everything caught up. So Chemnitzer in the first game today, and then Hansa Rostock. So let's get into the lineup. Looking at it, Mera's going to come in today on the left-hand side. Romero's back on the right-hand side. I actually played Tyru. I played him at right back last game. It didn't really work out, but it was essentially just his debut. Technically, it did work out because we won 3-0. So, yeah. Anyway, Romero's going to come back in for this one. Brevel is going to start as well. We still have an injury to Hogg. Unfortunately, he's not going to probably play for the club again unless we're able to either extend his loan or potentially just try and get him back in the next transfer window for season 10. So, a little bit unfortunate. Of course, Barry's going to be leaving us as well. He's actually turned all right in this, well, pretty much once we changed the tactic. He's come up with a few assists. Mera's probably going to be his perfect replacement, realistically. Can play on both sides pretty well. And, you know, he's got a perfectionist personality and he's very pacey. So, almost like a like for like. And obviously, Mera is still our player. So we will sort of prioritize him, I think, a little bit more. And yeah, he's actually scored 2 more goals than Barry has so far this season. We'll go into the stats at the end. Everything else is pretty much the same. Meljez back in goal. And then Jabali and Gel up top. One thing I do want to do is bring Maya onto the bench for Collins. And I think everything else is pretty good. So let's advance. Get into it. Looking for a big game from Pavicic here today as well. And of course, Gel up top. And hopefully the defense can remain solid. That's always sort of the defining factor with this tactic, I feel like. If the 2 center defenders can defend to not even to like an outstanding level, but just an average level, then we'll either concede 1 goal or no goals at all. Pavicic almost gets a goal in the 2nd minute. We've got a corner here in the box. Keeper's going to get that one as well. I'd say it's a positive start, though. Of course, Chemnitz, they've done well. I think they're actually safe at the moment from going down. Same with Rostock as well. Of course, Hansa Rostock, we've had a big history with them. Both in 2 Bundesliga and in 3 Liga as well. So I'm sort of looking forward to that one being our final game of the season. All right, Romero with a throw-in to Pavicic. Bit of a deflected ball, and Gel puts it in the back of the net. Does Mera get the assist for that? He was kind of tackled, and then the ball sort of fell to Gel before he blasted it in the back of the net. Pavicic apparently gets the assist. Rightio, okay. Jabali's not playing too well. Their goalkeeper's on at 7.3. Tebow's actually off the pitch there as well. Do we have anyone back? I don't think we had anyone back there. Unfortunately, Mera's shot, not exactly ideal. I think I need to get Mera, maybe give him a player trait. Or player trait. What are they called? I forget what they're called. And get him to cut in from cut inside from both wings, essentially. All right, Senhaji to Jabali. Oh, good little pass. Mera's shot's blocked, though. That was a really nice pass from Jabali. Very unselfish. Ooh, that's a yellow card for Senhaji. I don't think it's a red. It should just be a yellow. Not even a yellow card. Interesting. Ooh, I thought that was going to go in there for Chemnitz. Header from a corner, unmarked as well. Very lucky. All right, that should be half-time. And we're 1-0 up. So far, so good. Going to praise him. We'll get back out there straight away. The goalkeeper's rating's dropped a little bit. It's down to a 7. Hopefully we can try and capitalise on that. They've actually brought a new defender on as well, a new centre-back. Although time is ticking away. I'm going to do an encourage here, and then I might make a sub as well. Maybe Mera for Jaeyong. think we'll just do one sub for now, maybe another sub in 10 minutes or so. I mean, I'm looking at the wing backs. They're pretty poor. So Prevel does win that ball there. Thibaut back to Prevel. Up to De Jong. Back to Prevel. And back to Thibaut. All right. Building from the back. Pavicic to Jabali. Can he cross? Yes, he can. Gel, that's a really good save. That should have been a goal. Their goalkeeper is actually playing pretty well today. Romero with a corner. Into the box. It's going to be cleared away. Jabali should get the end of it. He does. Plays it up to Pavicic, who's tackled and loses the ball. All right, let's make another sub here. 70th minute. Don't really know who to do because I almost want to take Prevel off, but I don't have another left back option, and I don't really want to bring Egan Riley on, so I think I'll just leave it for now. Maybe Reragui for Veloso dos Santos. We'll do that. Give him a little bit more game time. He is complaining about his game time. He's only a squad player, so I don't know why he's whinging so much, but yeah, it is what it is. And Prevel's rating's actually increased, so that actually... Oh, that's a good goal. That is a good goal. It's going to go down as an own goal, but that was a really good shot from Jabali. That's annoying, man. That's frustrating. That should be Jabali's goal. Anyway, 2-0 into stoppage time, and that is a very solid defensive performance. That's what I'm talking about. If our defenders, I know they've actually gotten better ratings, but it was slightly lower than that before full time. I think Puthi was on a 6.9, Prevel was on a 6.7 maybe. They kept them to 0 shots on target. That's very impressive. And obviously Melges in goal, as per usual. He was a very, very good signing. And cheap as well. It was like 73,000 or something like that. As you can see, we may as well do this on camera. I don't really show you guys me doing contract negotiations or anything like that. So one thing I do is I always lock in 0 for signing on fee and agent fee. It's something I always do. It does cause the per week to go higher, but it allows us to retain more of our transfer budget in the case that we find someone that we like in the future. It's just a little weird thing I do. That I've been doing. Another thing is something like this, because we're going to spend next season in 2 Bundesliga. I think having a 20 mil release clause for the Bundesliga clubs coming in it's just a good option to have. We lock that in as well, so they can't then negotiate and then lock it themselves, or their agents lock it at 1 million or something ridiculous. So we'll do that. I'll give him 1,000 per week, which was the original offer. I might actually give him a longer contract, so we might bump that up slightly. But that looks pretty good to me. He likes it. Potentially could have got it a little bit cheaper. But yeah, Veloso dos Santos looking like he's going to become our player for next season. It's worth mentioning that he is now accomplished at that position. So give him a little bit more time, and I'm sure he'll slowly become natural in that position. He's nothing outstanding, don't get me wrong, but he's just a solid player. And as a squad player, which is what he's going to come in as, he'll be very, very beneficial. Anyway, I'm going to skip forward the 9 days, and I'll join you guys for the final game of the season. All right, so let's get a line up for Rostock. I'm going to go with a few changes here. Regragui is going to come in. Tyru is going to come in at right back, sorry. So they're the only sort of first team changes. I've also sold Meyer as well. He was complaining about game time. And like I said, I'm happy to let players go and sell them. And there are a few other ones that I'm probably going to look at going into season 10 that probably need to leave the club. But I'm only going to bring players in if I've got a good enough replacement, if that makes sense. So that's pretty much the idea behind it. Tyru more just to really give him a little bit of game time. He's defensively solid enough to sort of play in that position, but he is still only 19, so I want to give him some game time. Same thing for Regragui. I don't know if he's actually got that 5-star potential or if it's just in relation to how good our midfielders are, but yeah, he's going to come in as well. I'll tell him his form needs to improve. Probably do it to Tyroo, but he's only played one game for us. So yeah, let's go out there against Rostock, see what we can do. Either way, it's been an okay season. I wanted to get promoted this season, but obviously the draws and the first half of the season form just not good enough. It wasn't good enough to even get us close to being promoted. Had we used this tactic from the get-go, I think we would probably be top 3, top 4 probably at the moment. So it's a weird sort of position to be in. I feel like we've almost failed this season. We've definitely failed my personal goal that I had going into it. But then again, I feel positive with the way things are at the moment. And we just hit the crossbar. So it goes to show that we are playing very well. And I think with a couple of additions, a few better loan signings as well, he could really do something. And it's worth mentioning that our reputation has increased, and I've noticed that it's increased because some of our player values now, Gel, Havicic, they're between like 5 and 7 million, which is ridiculous because it used to be like 1 or 2 for our best players, whereas now it's 5 to 7. And Gel doesn't even have that long of a contract. He's only, I think, it's either a year or 2 years from the start of next season. I'm hoping it's 2 years because I don't really want to give him a contract extension at the moment because he's going to want at least, that max wage that we can offer, which is about 11.5k. Anyway, Prevel coming forward here. Loses the ball disappointingly, but we do look very positive at the moment. Truthy with a nice header. Unfortunately for us, Hansa Rostock get the ball back. And they're coming forward now. With a little bit of purpose as well. Ladro, and that's a decent little save there from Melges. All right, Ziegler. Oh, that's a weird corner. Jabali heads it away. It's the end of the highlight there. We probably would have got the ball back anyway from that one. Couple of good defensive displays so far. I like to see it. Prevel 7.3, Tebow 7. Obviously, Melges in goals got a 7. Not a lot going forward though, so we'll do an encourage. We do have a throw in by the looks of it. Prevel, Samira, Regragui, Havicic. It's Pavicic. He's got to score that. He's got to score that. He's so good with his heading as well. Gotta say, that's a little bit disappointing. All right, Melges with the goal kick. Out to Tebow. I feel like he's been a good signing this year. And Puthi goes back to Tebow. To Regragui. Mira. Over to Pavicic. Bit of space for him. Uses his pace in the box. And it's terrible. He's got to cross that. From that position, I would honestly prefer if he crossed it. At least give us an opportunity to try and get a shot in the back of the net. Anyway, we're coming forward again into stoppage time in the first half. Bit of a risky pass there. Regragui goes out to Tyroo. Good ball to Jabali. And Jabali finishes. I think he's onside. I think he was still onside. It was very close. But I think that'll be awarded. Come on. There we go. Thumbs up. Goal on the stroke of half-time there for Jabali. All right, good performance. Apparently not. The team don't think they're playing too well. I mean, Gel's not. I might bring Gel off for De Jong. It's kind of a weird one sort of going into next season. Because I've got Mera. Obviously, we're losing Barry because his loan will finish. Pavicic, though, wins the ball back, breaks away. Can he pass? He can. Gel. Oh, he's blocked. The shot was blocked. Very unfortunate. Nice little breakaway, though. What was I saying? Yeah, so the left wing inside forward position. I think I just stick with Mera and De Jong, and we actually give De Jong some proper sort of starts in the league next season, because in my opinion, I feel like he could be really, really dangerous. I want to look at his scout report as Gel blasts another shot over the net. It's on a 6.3 at the moment, Gel. With that said, I'm actually going to take him off. So, yeah, De Jong will come on. He'll come on up top. Like I said, I probably want to try and play him primarily on the left inside forward position. But today, we'll give him 30 minutes or so. See what he can do. Because he does have a bit of pace about him, and then he's got sort of the holy trinity of advanced forward, inside forward type stats, being your dribbling, first touch, and finishing. And then, of course, he's got good composure and stuff as well. So, yeah, we'll lose Meyer. We've already got another striker coming in next season as well. I've already set up that deal. I think it was for about 100,000 as well, so not too expensive, but a very good, high-quality striker. Might even take Jabali's starting role if he's good enough. Anyway, we've got Mera coming forward here. He's talking about plans for next season and not really focusing on the game too much. Pavicic gets his header, puts it in the back of the net. There we go, 13th goal of the season for Pavicic. And there we go, we've got a 2-goal lead, 82nd or 83rd minute. Mera with the assist as well. That's a nice little outlet there. The Mera cross into Pavicic's head at the back post. And he's very dangerous. Very pacey, very strong for Pavicic. Pavicic puts a cross in himself. Hoothy's going to get that one back. Tyru, probably need to ease him off tackles. The young fella out there. In fact, I might actually do that because I don't really want him getting a red card in his second game for the club. So we'll do that quickly. He's not actually playing the best out there. It's only on a 6.8. I suppose it is better than his last rating. Ooh, and that is a penalty. Mera brought down in the box. And we don't have Gel on the pitch. So I'm curious to see who's going to take this one. Very curious. It is going to be... I don't actually know who that is. De Jong. Oh, and he puts it in the bottom right-hand corner. De Jong getting his first goal for the club in the last game of the season. You love to see it. Albeit he wasn't really here for much of it, but... yeah, he's on the score sheet. He's got his first goal. Hopefully many, many more. And there we go, guys. 3-0 victory. Everyone on the team, except for Gel, getting above a 7-match rating. Tyru, Reguagui, both getting above 7s. You love to see it. I'm very happy with that performance. Pavicic, man of the match, as per usual. What can I say? What can I say? We'll take another look at the league table here in a second, with hopefully all the other games being played as well. And we'll find out. Oh, that is our last game in the MDCC Arena. We move into our new stadium next year. At the start of next season, Season 10. The 15,000 capacity BFC Dynamo Stadium. That's pretty cool. Yeah, very cool. Ooh, Dusseldorf coming out of nowhere. Getting the... is that the relegation spot or the... hold on. Let's have a look at this league table. They did. No way. Look at that. That is hilarious. First place, St. Pauli, we sort of knew that was going to happen. Bochum sneak in, take second place. And then Fortuna Dusseldorf, 60 points, tied with Kaiserslautern. And they steal the playoff spot. Oh, if I was Kaiserslautern, I would be furious. Those draws really coming to bite them in the backside. We did have the highest amount of draws this season with 16. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Unfortunately for us, Dresden getting relegated. So we won't have that Dynamo derby next season. But I expect them to bounce back in 3 Liga and to just come straight back up. They're way too good for 3 Liga. Way too good. You look at some of their players. Look at their wages for starters. You've got players on 24,000, 23,000. Pretty much nearly everyone's over 10K. Even some of the youngsters like Adler here. Look at that player. That guy is insane. He's very good. He's better than all of our players, I would say. Except for maybe Gel. But incredible mental stats on him. Teamwork and everything as well. Very talented. He's on 10K per week at 20 years old. Tribal, fullback. Pretty good fullback as well. He's on nearly 15K. So they will come back up. I might even look at their squad for relegation release clauses. You know, clubs did it to us back in the day. So maybe it's time for me to try and reap some rewards and get some decent, cheap young players. Ruther Firth, I don't know if they'll go down. They might. They've been pretty weak this season as well. And Magdeburg. So we're losing 2 derbies. We're losing Magdeburg. Obviously, we're not playing in their stadium anymore, but still cool to actually verse them. And then Dresden as well. There's the league table. I'll bring the face cam back up the top there. Yeah, we get 10 million. Just over 10 mil for finishing in 8th place. I think 8th is pretty good. We actually improved on 1 position from last season. So that's pretty ironic, considering we had a terrible season, I would say. And our balance is back up to over 9 mil. In saying that, it's probably going to go back down for next season. Let's have a quick little look at the projection. The projection looks better than it actually is. And it looks like we're going to get 1.8 mil transfer budget. Hopefully we do actually get that, because I want to try and sign some players to actually get us promoted. I think we can do promotion, and it's kind of fitting that next season is season 10. And I expect us to hopefully go up into the Bundesliga starting in season 11. That'd be pretty sweet. Anyway, little player ratings, not going to be too in-depth. We've got Pavicic, number 1, 7.22 average rating for the season. Got himself 13 goals, 7 assists in there as well in 30 games. Pavicic is always one of our top performers. And, you know, he deserves the 11,000. This is what I'm talking about, though. So look at his value there, 5.4, 7 million. And he's currently a 4-star player. St. Pauli, just promoted, now interested. But if you see here, we've got an actual minimum release clause on him for 20 million. So it's not even clubs in a higher division. That's just anybody out there. If they want him, they can have him, but they're going to have to pay 20 mil for him. So, yeah. Next best performer, the new signing, Melges, the goalkeeper, 7.12 average rating in 13 games, being signed in January. And he was pretty much signed at the end of January as well. As you can see there, 71,000, 13 games, only 10 goals conceded, and 7 out of 13 clean sheets in those games. That's very, very impressive. Considering his record in Serie C, it wasn't very good. But I personally would say he's going to be, I want to say at least at like a lower level Bundesliga goalkeeper. He's only 22, so he's still got a bit of potential. He's got a full star left. And his potential is 4.5 stars, so that's pretty decent. Going a little bit further down, Hogg on loan, 7.06, 18 starts, 2 sub-appearances. Got himself a goal and 4 assists as well, which is very impressive. We'll go a little bit further down. We've got Thibaut. I mentioned him. He was a pretty solid defensive rock for us. 28 starts for him. Only got 2 goals from corners, but they were crucial at times. And then a 6.99, which is very good considering we drew a lot of games this season. We didn't win a lot and we didn't lose a lot. Well, we started to win at the end, but yeah, very, very solid. Surprisingly, I didn't think Prevel actually played that well this season, but he's got a 6.98, getting himself 4 assists as well in 17 starts with 6 sub-appearances. Actually not too bad. Obviously, Hogg played really well, but then Prevel coming in clutch. And then just below him on a 6.94, we got Gel. We got 16 goals by the end of it. He was very, very slow to start. And that 16 goals was in 33 appearances, 3 sub-appearances as well. And he got a couple of assists to his name as well. You go a little bit further down, we've got Jabali down there. Pretty unimpressive, really. 6.86. Only the 13 starts because we did play most of the season with 1 striker up top. So 13 starts for him, 10 sub-appearances, only got 5 goals, which it looks like a bad return. But then again, he didn't start a lot of games until the end, which is when he actually started scoring for us. Got himself 3 assists there as well. And then the last player I want to speak about is Barry. Of course, we signed him when we were using the previous tactic. 6.81, so the average rating's not great, but 14 starts with 7 sub-appearances for him, 2 goals, getting himself 8 assists. I think he is actually he's our most assisted player, so I'm pretty happy with that return, and hopefully he'll go to Wolfsburg and maybe have a good career as a loud car goes past. But yeah, he joined them for $5 million. In total fee, which is good for the club. It's honestly good for the club. I think he's a good player, and I think he's got enough potential to maybe challenge for a spot in their Bundesliga squad in the coming seasons. Maybe not next season, but I think down the line he'll be a good player. He does still have a lot of not a lot, but a decent amount of potential left, and he's valued at 13.5 to 16 million. At Wolfsburg as well. So yeah, that is pretty much going to wrap up the episode, guys. I don't think I'm really forgetting anything. I'm going to say we came back. We made it a successful season. Let's go to the schedule here real quick. It was from that point right there. You look at that form there. If I'm playing like that throughout the season, we're getting promoted. So it's a weird one to think about. Had I played this tactic, we will be playing with this tactic going forward next season, and at least seeing how we perform with it. And honestly, I think if we can strengthen in a few positions and a few players, there's no reason why we can't get promoted. And season 10, that's the goal. We have to get promoted. I really want to get up out of this division because this will be our 3rd consecutive season that will be. So yeah, want to get out, want to get up, and want to get onto bigger and better things, higher money. Once I start getting the money in, I'll be buying Wonder Kids. So we'll be developing young players. We'll be buying some of the best, best Croatian, Serbian, Czechia, all those types of player. We'll scout Africa again. We'll actually be able to buy some of those incredible African talents that I've unfortunately scouted but missed out on because either I don't have enough money or they don't want to join us and they join, bigger clubs with better reputation that are in first division, teams across the country or across the continent in Europe here. So something to think about. Just got to get promoted out of this division, essentially. It's seemingly quite tough, but I feel like I have made a few wrong decisions going forward. Albeit our wage budget is minuscule to a lot of other teams, pretty much every other team in this division. The closest one at the moment is probably someone like Chemnitzer. I think there is a way to actually have a look at that. Can't remember where it is. I know there's a way to do it, but I just can't remember. Not structure, it's not managers, it's not rules, passes, stages, no. Maybe season preview. I feel like it's similar to this, but it basically tells you the wages of each team. Maybe team detailed. It's not really what I want, but it's... I mean, look at the salary per annum for Hoffenheim, who got relegated last season. That's ridiculous. Yeah, that's not really what I'm looking for. I feel like it's in team overview, but it's not. You got net transfer spend, but I want the wages of teams. Yeah, I don't think it's in transfers either. Anyway, doesn't matter too much. That's going to be the end of the episode, guys. Please smash a like. Season 9 done and dusted. We've come back to finish in our second highest ever position in 2 Bundesliga. So it's kind of a good thing, I guess. But next season we are looking to be promoted. And I will be making sure we get promoted. Theoretically, we're only 11 points off the playoff spot. So we're really not even that far off this season. And I think we wasted probably about 20 games. So there you go. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already, guys. I think only 75% of you are currently unsubscribed. You're not subscribed to the channel. So essentially 1 in 4 of you have subscribed. Make sure you do that. Turn on the notification bell if you want these episodes to come into your notifications. And apart from that, guys, as always, take it easy and goodbye.